What's going on, everybody? GemMint here, back with another Omnibus video. Today we're going to do an overview of the Avengers vs. X-Men Omnibus. Now this event has a special place in my heart. It's as I was getting back into comic books, it's one of the first, if not the first, Marvel event that I started collecting as I was getting back into it. I picked up every issue, every tie-in, every crossover, which are all collected in this book. Now, they did release this as an oversized hardcover and a companion in the past, and I had some forward thinking, man. I saw some omnibus reprints coming out that were collecting OHCs and merging them for these types of omnibus, and that's what happened here. I ended up selling off the OHC and the companion, and they ended up publishing the omnibus. Funny enough, when I collected this all in single issues, that was also one of the first things that got me into selling comic books. I sold a bunch on eBay, including this entire series, the Rick Remender Venom run, and my Spawn collection, and that's how I started buying key issues. Before we jump into this, I want to give a big thanks to Organic Price Books for sending this out. If you guys are looking to buy any collected editions, whether they're omnibus, absolutes, manga, hit up Organic Price Books, use code GemMint, it'll save you $2. With that being said, let's jump into it. All right, guys, so here we go. This is the direct market variant, the amazing Captain America vs. Wolverine cover. It always reminded me of that Captain America Annual 8 classic Wolverine vs. Cap cover. This is by Jim Chung, and I believe the regular cover was by Jim Chung as well. Not 100% on that. This already came out. It was released at the beginning of November. It has 1,680 pages with a $150 cover price, but you do get a lot of bang for your buck in this Omni. So like I said, here's the cover. Let's move on over to the spine. Nice thick spine. This was once a oversized hardcover and a compendium edition that is basically merged together for an omnibus, as it always should have been. So here's what you get. Avengers vs. X-Men 0 through 12, so the entire main series. Then you get AvX versus 1 through 6, which was like really video game style, round 1, round 2 per issue of Avengers vs. X-Men characters. Then you had Avengers vs. X-Men Infinite 1, 6, and 10, Avengers Academy 29 through 33, Secret Avengers 26 through 28, Avengers 25 through 30, New Avengers 24 through 30, X-Men Legacy 266 through 270, Wolverine and the X-Men 9 through 16, and issue 18, AvX Consequences, the 1 through 5 epilogue miniseries, Uncanny X-Men 11 through 20, A-Babies vs. X-Babies 1, and material from Point 1, issue 1. The inside of the dust jacket talks about the AvX storyline. Essentially, the Phoenix Force is coming back to Earth, and the X-Men and the Avengers have very different opinions on what that actually means. The Avengers feel like it's a threat. X-Men feel like it's a way to rebuild mutantdom since the events of House of M. Here's the creators. You got Jason Aaron, Brian Michael Bendis, Ed Brubaker, Matt Fraction, Jonathan Hickman, a ton of very talented writers and artists. And a beautiful, epic battle scene for the wraparound cover. You got your X-Men versus the Avengers. Let's take a look at the inside here. So you got the navy blue cover page. All right, very nice. Here go the credits. And let's see how it's mapped out. So apparently you get Point 1, issue 1. Then you get Avengers versus X-Men 0 through 6. So, I'm sorry, 0 through 12. Again, not really a fan of that type of mapping. Then it jumps into the AvX versus stuff. So issues 1 through 6 there. And then you get all those other tie-ins. So unfortunately, this is the mapping for the Marvel events recently. They give you the full story in the beginning, and then they add the tie-ins at the end. Personally, I would prefer the publishing order. You would have like AvX issue 0, then maybe issue 1, and then you would get into one of those verses, because those verses tie-ins I think are essential to this story. It really fleshes out those intense battles in between the main issues of the main story. All right, so here we go. So I don't want to give any spoilers, but the Phoenix Force is the main thing that causes this rift, and they do something very interesting with the Phoenix Force in this miniseries. And you know, I'm showing pictures. I'm not going to speak on it, but I guess if you know, you know, right? I thought it was a nice twist on the Phoenix Force and what the X-Men did with that being and how that played a major role in this story. That Spider-Man booth is currently in open enrollment for their January subscription box. Not only will you get over $100 in value, which includes 5 comics, store exclusives, and variants, but you'll also get a variant exclusive to this box. For January, it's a Quested #1 with cover art by Alex Regal. They only made 600 of the regular editions, 100 of the foils, and 50 medals. Swing on over to thatspidermanbooth.com right now and sign up for their subscription box. Some of this stuff's gonna double dip, right? You have new Avengers issues, you have Wolverine and the X-Men issues from the Jason Aaron run, but it makes sense to be in this omnibus. It all has to do with this event, right? So here you can see Thor approaching the Phoenix Force. You got epic battles, Thing versus Namor, Uncanny X-Men. So this is after the events of Schism, when you had Uncanny X-Men and you had Wolverine and the X-Men splitting off into 2 different series. You have a compilation of writers and artists here making up this omnibus. Super thick, oversized, and like I said, it was once a OHC for those first 13 issues for the main story, and then they had this compendium that had all the tie-ins, and I ended up selling those off, and I'm happy that I did, because like many of those events, they've been turning into omnibus now. The A Babies versus X Babies, kind of a goofy little spin-off. All right, so it looks like we're getting some variant covers. This is the wraparound cover that makes up the hardcover, the Scotty Young, AvX 1, Stephanie Hans, beautiful Phoenix artwork. And they break it down here on a smaller scale. Beautiful Emma Frost here. Here's the Versus stuff. Like I said, it felt very much like Street Fighter inspired. Adam Kubert, beautiful Phoenix, Dark Phoenix. Yeah, Juggernaut versus Thing. Oh, I'm sorry, Colossus versus Thing, when Colossus had the Juggernaut helmet. You remember that? The Avengers versus X-Men was an event so epic it required more than one artist to bring it home. So we had John Romita Jr., Oliver Copiel, and Adam Kubert. All right, so we're getting some sketches and some inks. So highlighting the artists. Yeah, look at this. Namor. That's like giving me Black Panther Wakanda Forever vibes right there. The scorecard of all the battles. That's pretty cool. That's definitely John Romita Jr. All right, there we go. All right, guys, there we go. That is the Avengers vs. X-Men Omnibus. Did more of an overview because I already read all the material, but it's been some years. And this way, you don't really get any spoilers. You can get an idea of what the book is and what it collects and decide if it's something that you want to pick up and add to the collection. Let me know what you think about Avengers vs. X-Men in the comments down below. I appreciate you watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.